Hello, hello, hello. You are here with Dr. Katrina Williams, also known as Dr.Kat, and you're on Embrace Her and Thrive. Sometimes what I do is I give you life hacks. Other times I give you principles that you can use. What I do is I'm a psychologist, a virtual psychologist, relationship and life purpose coach. I help women, usually women of color, but all women who are generally having a hard time with relationships at home and at work. And many times they don't know what direction they want to go in life because they've just settled or they followed the lead of what everybody else needed from them. And what they ultimately get when they work with me is they get improved relationships with self and others. Doesn't mean everybody's going to like them, but they get better relationships because they get more of what they want and they know who is for them and who is not. And that happens at home and their career. Sometimes they do career pivots, but they generally will find a sense of life purpose, so to speak. Sometimes my brain goes faster than my mouth. You'll notice that happens a lot. So you also may notice that I got a little dinged thumb for all you people who love fabulous nails. It happened when I was opening the washer lid today. Can you imagine? I tried to open it like this and my finger kept going and that lid was locked. And that's how my day has been today. I even made a video this morning for y'all. I was fresh, perky, didn't hit record. But you know what I did? I showed up anyway, because this is my purpose, to help you. So I got my notes. I'm ready to go. Today, we're going to do an expansion, not the next part of the series, right? The series right now is from roots to results. What we're going to do is we're going to expand a little bit on giving you a stronger foundation so that you know how to use this series. Last time you heard me talk about the inner child and how that can pan out in life. Also, what you can do with your inner child. Most people feel like they hear that a lot, but they don't know what to do literally. Here we talk about the principles and literally what you can do, okay? Today, we're going to give you some strong principles, because if you don't have principles, what you'll feel like you're doing is throwing a bunch of coping skills around, trying to figure it out, feeling confused, having to hire somebody to tell you what's going on, which is fine, and just feeling like you're throwing your time, your energy, or your money at a bunch of people, places, and things to try and get 5 minutes apiece. So here's some principles of healing from painful things that you've been in your past that keep jumping into your current and getting in your way, okay? First thing, awareness. My clinical practice is called Insightful Minds Clinical Services. Here, I'm for Embrace Her and Thrive, which is my coaching practice. Coaching is the closest word, but I just help people with their relationships and their life purpose, okay? Awareness is needed because it's kind of like when you go to the doctor and you got like a boo-boo, kind of like I got a boo-boo. You want to know what's happening so you can know where you're going. That's the philosophy I use in the entire business of what I do. A lot of people don't want to address the dirt underneath the carpet or the mud in their garden. A lot of times you got to go there for at least a couple minutes, boo-boo, okay? To say, oh, I don't need to deal with that. I do have people that think that, and they just keep repeating the patterns, but you can still build a good life as long as you deal with some of it, okay? So awareness. You cannot heal what you cannot see very well. So a lot of times the stuff is inside of us and you got to x-ray it like you do an x-ray. You got to x-ray that stuff with some mental health techniques, strategies, or at least somebody who can help you pull it apart, okay? Next is safety before the story. This one is missing for a lot of people, which is why they don't like doing deep dives. One thing I would prefer is for my client to feel impatient to start because I know they're ready, ready, ready. I only work with people who are ready, but I'm here to get them ready, 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 okay? What that means is before they start working on that stuff, I give them a bunch of stuff that they can do for themselves to get grounded, a sense of peace, more comfortable. Sometimes they stop there. They're like, you know what? I could figure a lot of things out from life just by knowing what it is and knowing how to deal with it somewhat and knowing how to help myself feel comfortable and not wait for somebody else. Those two can be super powerful, okay? Because not everybody's meant to go from A to Z. You can get a great life going from A to B, A to D, whatever letter you choose, okay? The next thing is compassion over condemnation. One thing I tell every single woman I work with, I got a couple guys too, love the guys too, they need love. But my ladies, they're my heart. What I tell them is you cannot criticize yourself into greatness. I'm pretty sure somebody taught all of us to do that, and I still gotta like knock my gremlin in the head and be like, back up, I'm trying to do something. Like, move. But you can't do it. It's not gonna work. It's a momentum thing. If you're sitting there and you're trying to go and you keep hitting the brakes with criticizing yourself it makes your growth process suck. It makes it hurt for no reason. So compassion is a skill and you need to practice it. All right. The body remembers. This is why I'm a somatic therapist and life coach. What that means is the research has shown that what you've been through literally gets stored in your brain and your nervous system. So what you need to do with support until you learn how to get the hang of it is release what's in your body and let your body learn how to reprogram it and rewire its understanding of what you've been through. What that means is you no longer have to carry that pain with you forever, okay? And those are exercises and lifestyle changes that you can do with your mind and body. Like, you know how you feel when you work out? Okay, this will probably catch like half of y'all. But you know how you feel when you work out and you feel like, oh, I feel good, right? Even if you were like, ugh, before you started, that's your body reprocessing all that stress, right? Or if you sit and you relax and there's nobody home, no noise, no feet hitting the ground, and you just give yourself a few minutes to where you get to a new place and you're like, oh, this is nice. You're letting your body reprocess your days, okay? That's why having mind and body, things that you do on a regular basis, are helpful and necessary, all right? Cycles break in community. When I start with many women, a lot of them are isolated. They only serve their family. They let go of a lot of their friendships. Their family relationships are a lot of taking from them. Doesn't mean they don't love them, but we've all been there. I love my family to pieces. And sometimes I have to say no so many times that it breaks my heart. And then it doesn't break my heart, but you do what you can do, okay? So you want to build up your community. So what I've done and what many women are doing now is finding family that's non-blood and friends that they can share experiences with and they can level up with professionally, personally. You know, when you're doing that life purpose, it can bump your wallet and your emotional intelligence. And when you have those two, it's unstoppable and it's a really fun life. All right. Reparenting your inner child. That's my jam. I love that one. So that one can be hard when you start. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even know mine was there in the beginning. And I was like, who is this? And why is she here? After a while, I was like, you know what, Katrina? She ain't asked to be like this. She ain't asked to be in pain and I'm confused. So that's what's stored in your nervous system. We just make it into like little people. Okay. It doesn't mean multiple personality disorder. That's not the same thing. It's reparenting. It's helping your nervous system learn how to feel safe and cared for, which for some people is foreign. All right. Choices create change. You need to practice those choices. Many women that I serve don't want to do the dating practice, even though they want the partner or they want new forms of love. You got to practice. Just do it small. Sometimes if someone doesn't feel safe enough, I'm like, just date with your friends. Be more vulnerable with the people that you already have. Practice who you want to be, who you want to grow into. Let her come to life in small bits. She'll keep coming. She'll keep coming around, okay? So make those choices that help you grow. Integration, not erasing. You cannot erase your past. If you act like it didn't happen, it doesn't make it go away. That's not how the body works. The body stores everything you go through that it feels like it needs to make sure that you're going to be okay. It is your job to let it know that you're okay, that you've been through things that are back there, and that you're moving toward things over here. And this is where you live. Okay? So what you do is you integrate your whole story, and then your body feels safe, it understands, and it turns into wisdom. Wisdom is amazing because you can use wisdom to build relationship wealth, financial wealth, health wealth. It's just a win-win-win-win-win. So let's go over it again. The principles of healing, generational patterns and or generational trauma based on what you've been through, awareness, safety before the story, compassion over condemnation, the body and remembering, releasing, breaking the cycles by having relationships, reparenting that inner child, choosing to let the new you show up piece by piece by piece, and integration, because you can't erase. All right? Who you used to be is just as valuable as who you are today. She has things to say. She has things to feel. She's not supposed to live in the current day, but she may snap on over here. And just do your best, honey. Okay? I'm here for you. I got your back. I'm always rooting for all of you. And I'm going to keep on doing the same so that I know just how much it sucks and just how much joy it can bring, because I never ask anybody to do something I haven't done. All right? Dr. Kat here. As always, we are supporting how it takes a village to maintain a woman and how then she can thrive. I hope that I gave you something that you can use. Take what you want, leave the rest. I love you. Hugs and kisses. See you later. Bye.